rah, 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 rah. I just watched that before I came down here too. That's awesome. All right, William ran the scene back where they chopped the duck's head off like about 40 times in a row, because that's what 10-year-olds do. They let the joke burn itself out. And you have to scream at them to stop it already. Stop making me hate the thing I love. Why do you do this every time? No, I need you guys to help me break something down here. I'm not sure if I should be offended, and if I am offended, what am I offended about exactly? There's I was at work, and so somebody's like, man, I need a soda. I was like, well, I got a Coke. Like, oh, you got a Coke? I was like, well, it's a Diet Coke. It's like, yeah, I don't want a Diet Coke. I thought you had like a real red Coke can. Plus, I didn't strike you for a soda guy. I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, you look more like a sparkling water kind of guy. Like, what the fuck does that mean? She's like, well, do you like sparkling water? I was like, I do, but I shouldn't. What does it mean to look like a guy who likes sparkling water as I drink my delicious spiked sparkling water?
I got this. This is a very simple explanation. Was the person you were speaking to non-white?
Yes.
That's it. You're white. That's what made you look like you like sparkling water.
So I'm
like
the white.
As a brown person, I see both of you, and I'm like, these two guys fucking love sparkling water. Like, there's no shot they don't. It's because you're white.
Okay, I thought it was maybe like I was just, maybe my wrists were a little weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's just it, if it's just a black person looking at a white person saying you smell like a dog in the rain and you must love carbonated water, that must be the two things.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I assume like a full flavored orange soda's too spicy for y'all. You need like a LaCroix orange. You know what I'm saying? Like just. It's I don't
not the LaCroix. I like me a good just
whatever,
a soda stream, like just some straight up
see like
sparkling
you made
pack.
it whiter. That's how you just like you could have been like I purchased my prepackaged sparkling flavored waters. Everybody would have been fine, but you were like, nope, got a whole soda stream system. Sits on my counter, make it, got different syrups. Sometimes I mix them. Like, you know what I mean? You made it whiter.
It is a cheaper option. Sarah and I have
it is. No, my buddy swears by it.
We buy the LaCroix, since they figured I'd correct both of you. We do the limoncello and the
oh, yeah,
key
we're
lime.
wrong.
Listen, I don't even do that. And by the way, Alan, the syrups are trash in my opinion, for
are they?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't have one.
It's Bobo soda, man. You might as well go buy Dr. Thunder or whatever the fuck they sell at Walmart. I mean, that's what that is.
Mountain Lion.
Mountain Lightning, and it's
it's Dr. Perky. You illiterate
Dr. Perky.
fuck.
Dr. Perky's one.
I apologize. I do. So what I'll do is I'll just make me some Soda Stream water, and then I'll put I buy those little the little lemon that have the lemon juice in it, and
oh yeah, those are good.
Couple little squirts. And then maybe I'll mix a little vodka in there, and then that's my little tasty drink for the night.
But yeah, I figure.
I thought you were gonna say I mix that up and then I go to work. That's what I sip on as I'm throughout my day.
I have gotten some street cred from my my African American coworkers. I was telling them I buy these potatoes in a steamer bag. Mm-hmm. But I'm never going to steam all the potatoes in that bag all at the same time. So what I'll do is I'll portion them out, and then I'll keep the bag, and I'll buy more potatoes. They're like, you just keep reusing the same steamer bag? I'm like, yeah. Why would I throw it out? And why would I buy new ones when every time I buy potatoes, I get the steamer bag. It's good for 5 to 6 steamers before it fucking starts to fall apart. They're like, man, you got a little black in you, don't you? I'm like, I'm thrifty, baby. I'm thrifty. People forget that, like, white folk that grew up poor are very similar to people of color who grew up poor. It ain't our skin that makes us different. It's our economic status. That's it.
I mean, our economic status doesn't even make us different. We're a lot the same. like that's why we gotta stop arguing about fucking stupid shit and start being like, you know what? We're both poor, and CEOs should die. You know
what? It's actually a good segue.
Maybe not, but yeah.
It's a good segue to old Luigi, a Maryland native.
It's a me.
Luigi, the man who killed the United Healthcare CEO, a Gilman graduate, right here in Baltimore. was heir to the like his parents own or his family owns a golf course. But
Do they? Is that what they?
yeah,
have?
I think this is where they're having the BMW championship. Where we went.
Caves Valley.
I believe so. I believe there. Maybe I don't know if it's his parents, but I believe he has family who own Caves Valley. So you pissed away a lifetime membership of free golf at a grade A golf course by doing what you did, Luigi.
But see, that is a
Right?
rich kid thing to do, though, isn't it, Alan? Like, think about that. Like, you don't see a lot of poor martyrs out there. You know, it's usually rich kids that go and like they gotta. This is their way of slumming. I'm tell you what, he was sure dedicated. Dedicated to that cause.
It got people talking. That's for damn sure.
Yes, he did.
Was I right on the Caves Valley? Was it or
I'm looking up now.
okay. Yeah.
And by the way, talk about a tale of two conspiracies, because the first conspiracy that came out as soon as he got caught was that ain't him. Look, he ain't got no unibrow. Now he got a unibrow, and now look at that. His eyes are slightly further apart in this picture than they are in this picture. And look, this camera makes his jacket look different than this camera. You know, and then I started reading like, oh no, he wrote a manifesto. He's dropping like. Internet Easter eggs on YouTube and social media sites. Like, nah, this is him. That's he
Now he put on the Mr. Potato Head unibrow. He put it on. It's like no one will get me now. Is the perfect disguise.
If you were to do something, I've thought about this a lot. Like Alan, first thing you do. Okay, let's say you don't want to get caught, right? What's the first thing you're doing as soon as you've performed your act of heroism?
Don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't even know. Like,
Aren't you gonna shave that beard and go put some contacts
oh
in?
yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair. I didn't really think about that. I was just trying to think, like, I was thinking more of like getting away and like fucking plotting an escape to an extradition-free country. Yeah, exactly. But no, that's actually a very good point. I would be a totally different person without this fucking beard.
That's why, like, if I was to do something, obviously I'd shave all this off. But beforehand, I would grow the whole beard in. You know, I might even grow the whole beard in and then do this, because this is so striking that it's like, oh, they're just gonna notice the guy with the mustache. They're not gonna notice like that guy's unibrow. You know, they're not gonna notice any of the other shit because this is such a weird, striking look, and I'm aware of that. But as far as the getting away part, I mean, Homeboy got on one of those fucking metro scooters and was just like, went straight to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, in Altoona, right? It was Altoona, Pennsylvania, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I know, but you know what I mean. He didn't.
No, I mean, he didn't take the scooter from Manhattan to Altoona.
You never know, man. This thing's got a good battery life.
That's a good point. You're paying by the minute, so.
Well, more importantly, can we talk about how the narc's not going to get this fucking money?
Really?
Oh,
yeah. Have we not heard this yet? Have we not heard this?
Was there a bounty? Was there a?
Yeah. So all right. So the NYPD had issued a $10,000 one, and you know, for like a $2 billion fucking police force, I think they could have ponied up a little bit more money. But hey, I'm just saying, fucking the FBI tossed in fucking 50,000. And so the person at this McDonald's, she's also been fucking like doxxed at this point. I'm fairly certain, like her name's out there. I think McDonald's fired her because technically she's like that. You're fucking with customers. You see what I'm saying? Like corporations don't give a fuck, bro.
I mean,
like what?
okay.
Now, Nick, man, now Luigi Mangione will never buy a Big Mac ever again. You see what you did, Nancy? And fucking like McDonald's was like, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
So
is it because of the bad press?
I think so, because like like, you know, people review bombed the McDonald's and fucking like, yeah, it's just a whole fucking thing. So yeah, she no longer works at McDonald's. And then, so the NYPD one, right? So like to get the NYPD money, like for both of them, there's a process, right? Like they're not just giving you money because you were like, hey, I got the guy. Fucking, she called 911, not the tip line. So with NYPD, my understanding is you have to call the tip line. You call the tip line, they give you a reference number. They do their fucking police thing, and then you call back in periodically and be like, hey, reference number, how's that shit going? Did you kill that motherfucker yet? Is he in jail? And then they make a decision at that point. Like it goes, if my understanding was correct, it goes to like a police tribunal. So there's just a bunch of fucking guys in white shirts that are like, you know what? I don't think that was. We would have found him. We
Right.
were on him. We were
Right.
like an hour away. Nah, she's
Did
not
your-
going to get the money.
Did the information
Good.
you give us lead to the direct
Correct.
arrest? Is that the
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So,
Prove
but
that in
because she
court.
didn't call the tip line and she didn't get the reference number, it's basically moot. It's basically like she didn't check the box on the form, and now she's ineligible. So that's that one. And then the FBI one, basically, that whole fucking thing, like, that's not even a you contact them. They contact you. They decide if what you gave them was good enough for you to get money. And then they're like, hey, person, we think you should get some of this reward that we were talking about. But here's the deal. We rate this by level of severity. Imminent danger. Was anybody about to die? Was anybody not about to die? How good was it? Did you give me his name and his face? Did you take a picture? Or did you just say, I got this fucking guy here? And we would have found him anyway. So
That's beyond lame.
Once they determine that she has maybe given them good info, it's got to go to the director of the FBI and then the fucking Secretary of Defense and then to the Secretary of State to get approved to issue that money.
No
so that's
one-
got to climb through the federal bureaucracy to get that money. So like, it's fucking ironic because is it not just another giant corporation, the government or the NYPD that just was like, your claim's denied? Did you get a prior authorization for that? Nah, you're fucking fucked.
Wow.
That's out of pocket, bud. And now you don't got a job at McDonald's. You were probably poor anyway. You live in Altoona.
Yeah, and you know what? It also makes an honest citizen not want to go through the trouble of calling in a
It
tip.
just makes me feel like maybe more important people should die. like it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude.
Well, you got that on the heels of I know Daniel Penny got off of his the whole subway thing, but once again, even though he was found not guilty, which I think is the absolute right call in this scenario, homeboy's on the fucking train like somebody's gonna die today, like. And please, I'm praying somebody fucking chokes this guy out. And it happens. And again, even though he's found not guilty, like what, a year, 2 years of his life just fucking completely ruined. He's got to like sit in jail for a period of time where like all I did was put him in a fucking rear naked choke for 10 minutes until somebody could come do something. The cops
Yeah,
even got down on the guy and were like,
you killed him.
"Whoa." Yeah, they're mouth to mouth for this guy. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's the point, man. Fucking, we watch MMA. Your rear naked choke takes 10 seconds,
Yeah, I know, but he just
and he's not getting back up.
He even said he just
Like-
held him there. He said he wasn't even applying pressure at some points. He was just
Well,
like there. But
God, you don't just die by not having
Or-
oxygen. You know what I'm saying?
and if you're jacked up on fucking any number of narcotics, then your heart might stop eventually. Didn't sound like he was of the
Fair
sanest of minds.
Yeah, I get it.
So the point is, no one's going to be calling a hot tip line about, again, whatever you think about what this guy's cause is, a murderer who literally shot and killed a man in the street at like 6 a.m. Like, yeah, you should probably turn that guy in if you see him for the tip money, if that was your motivation. And if it's not your motivation, like, you know what? I don't want to get doxxed. I don't want to lose my job. And if I'm not getting this fucking money, good luck, folks. I'm going to tell him, listen, hey, Luigi. Hey, Luigi, I recognize you. Why don't you get on your way? Head on down to Olive Garden. Be with your own people.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Luigi's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, and then after Alan shaves his beard and he's sitting around at a McDonald's somewhere, after committing a crime, and
In Arby's,
you're
but
kinda-
yeah, either way.
in Arby's, and you're kind of looking at the sketch, and like, kind of without a beard. Hey, sir. Where are you from? From Jamaica, right near the beach, man. Mooey.
the beach,
Good enough for me.
mooey.
It's not the guy.
Yeah,
Not the
not
guy.
me.
It's Mr. Nice Guy.
Samson Simpson.
But
He started
Good shit.
speaking Asian. I don't know. Yeah. I guess, and also speaking of not poor anymore, fucking Juan Soto is going to make what, like 30? No, I
Good
think it's like
Lord.
$93 a second.
Sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what apparently sunk the deal for the Yankees?
The suite at Yankee Stadium. They said Jeter and A-Rod didn't get a suite, so you're not worthy of a suite.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Jeter and A-Rod also didn't get contracts. They're going to pay their grandchildren in your fucking will. I mean,
Well, well, I mean, A-Rod did have like a couple.
He had a couple big ones.
yeah, but this giant deferment bullshit that they've been doing is just like, I mean, I don't know, whatever. What's your take on this? Because I do feel like, again, it's a good deal when your team's ready to win, but when your team is, rebuilding and you've got to pay, a few $1 million a year to a player that's retired, like I feel like, I guess in the long term, are these good contracts?
I mean, more often
guess it's
than
yet to
not,
be seen.
no. I mean, yeah. These contracts. I mean, the Ohtani, got the Dodgers to the promised land. I've seen many of these. I think it's when the ones that fail, the ones that do fail, get so much scrutiny. Like why did the Angels pay Josh Hamilton all that money, and now Trout and the numerous pitchers and things like that who get hurt. I mean, are they worth it? I don't know, but the shitty thing of it is that the players' union, they're all rooting for it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because like that, the bigger the contracts, then the next guy in line, the next multiple people in line. That's a awful lot of money,
It's a shit
especially
ton
to
of
hang
money.
it up when
But I guess-
he's.
if you think about it, I guess look at the Dodgers, right? You gave Ohtani whatever the fuck you gave him. How much is a World Series worth in revenue? You get what I'm saying? How much were the Dodgers charging for fucking World Series tickets? How many World Series t-shirts and hats and fucking blah 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 did they sell? So at the end of the day, if they won a single World Series, I'd love to see what the fucking profit uptick was. You know what I mean? On their end.
The
just
season
be
ticket holders.
Yeah, more people fucking buying season tickets. You got fucking celebrities fucking at the game, you got this whole commercial fucking machine working. So if at the end of the day they won a World Series and say they brought in an extra, $250 million, $250 million. Well, shit. They've already paid for a quarter of them.
Yeah.
In a fucking year, and they got what they wanted.
And,
you know what I mean?
And if you think, but I mean, and I'll use, and this might be a bad example, you tell me, but think about the Cowboys, they had that three-peat back in the 90s. They rode that fucking wave.
Check out 3 and 4 years. 3 and 4 years.
3 and 4 years, yeah.
Yeah, and then they rode that
wasn't
wave.
A three-peat.
Honestly, it's just now within the last maybe 5 seasons that people are like, that ship has sailed, right? You can't keep hanging your hat on that. That was a long time ago. Patriots came through and did their thing.
I think it's more easy to say it in the last 5 years to 10 years, but it's been 25 plus years, 30 years.
Yeah.
I think if you watch football, I think it's easier to say now and be like, they fucking suck, because it took you so long to be like, oh, well, they're the cat. They'll be better.
Yeah.
They'll get there. And there's such a big market team. It's same with the Dodgers. Look at how much the Dodgers have spent, and they have only won one World Series, unless you count the COVID World Series, which nobody fucking counts. So
Right.
it's those big brands and machines sometimes I think get the pass, because you're like, oh, well, it's just, they're good. They're always good. They got all the stars and stuff, but then you're like, yeah, they're just burning through cash, not fucking winning. At least the Dodgers make it there and just choke. Fucking the Cowboys are fucking awful.
But you know what, though? This is the one thing about the Cowboys, though. They always have, 2 top-tier, on paper, elite players. And so every year there's, I'm telling you, they're going to be a problem this year.
Yeah.
Dak is back. It's and then he's not. And it's well. So their seasons I will give them credit for this. Their seasons always start with starry-eyed confidence, and then they fucking.
But again,
fall
I think
apart.
that's part media being like, it's fucking America's team, and just sucking their dicks, because that's just what it's good ratings. Yeah, ratings pays bills. But fucking you're right. I do think they have those 1 or 2 guys, and they're also, let's be clear, in arguably the worst division in football for the last 2 decades. Fucking minus a couple years here. They even fucking Eli won a World Series or a fucking Super Bowl with like 9 wins. Fucking like that they don't even have to be fucking good, and they still suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so. Again, I think they get the benefit of the doubt because it's the Star, and you see a bunch of see guys walking around here in Dallas Cowboys jersey. What are you doing here? Where are you from? Dundalk. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiot! Like, you know what I mean? That's why. And you're like, oh, they're pretty good. Nope, they suck.
You know what though?
The S on their Emmitt Smith jerseys withering away. You know, it's like, it's down to
like
down
you don't
to a couple
see
speckles.
you don't see Prescott jerseys or CeeDee Lamb. They're all Michael Irving's, fucking Emmitt Smith's, Dion. Yeah. Fuck, that's it. That's the heyday, baby.
And you know, now that we're talking about it too, even in a Cowboys loss, they're profitable. Because here's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
and I hate the man. I do not like Stephen A. Smith, but after a Cowboys loss, it's
cowboy hat. It's so good.
You're just waiting for him to say it. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. Here's, I say after soccer on Sundays, me and Sarah always go to Pub Dog for a pizza and a couple beers. And there's this guy I've seen a couple times. I try not to talk to him, but one time I sat next to him. He's a huge Cowboys fan. When he's not, he's usually rocking a Cowboys jersey. But he said something about Jason Witten being his favorite player, and I was like, yeah, you know, Witten's
that's respectable.
Yeah.
But I said, you know, it's like the weird thing about Witten is he's kind of under the radar, creeping up on all-time lists for tight ends, receptions, touchdowns, receiving yards, games played. He's kind of like, you know, he's a really, really good player. But when you look at like the pantheon of you know the timeline of the sport and the great tight ends have played, Witten is in top 5 of all the major categories. Now, some of that has to do with, and as I was explaining it to him, he's like, and then his rebuttal was, you know, he wore number 82, and that's what I wore in high school because of him. I was like, okay, I kind of see the attitude of the person I'm talking to here.
Oh, man.
I wore his number. I wore his number when I played high school.
My biggest issue is he's like, my name's Jason, his name's Jason, so just really liked him. Like, it's just there. You never find. When's the last time you met a Cowboys fan from Dallas? You know what I mean? That's my thing. You know,
Well,
it's always
I mean,
the Cowboy fan that's also the Yankee fan that's also the Laker fan. You know, that's the
Duke
like
basketball,
It's like, come
yeah.
the fuck on. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like I said, the media machine makes them who they are. The Stephen A. Smiths, like even in a loss,
Yeah.
fucking, it's all media and ratings, baby. Yeah, like shitting on. Like, you know, they lose a game and it's like, oh, Jerry Jones, well, the sun's been shining since the beginning of time through them windows. What am I supposed to build a new stadium? And it's just all media fucking hype. And we're like, man, they suck. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am grateful to the New York Mets for stealing, you know, a marquee player from the marquee team of Major League Baseball.
You know who I'm not real stoked on? Is fucking the Yankees giving Max Fried that much money. Because now we ain't getting Corbin Burns or Max Fried.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. He wasn't supposed to get that much money. That's what Corbin was supposed to get.
Not that many years. What do you get, 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Yeah, that's
and I guess that's kind of comes back to like these contracts. Like at some point, do they have to put a cap? I mean, it can be a large cap, but do they have to put some kind of cap out there? Because again, the Orioles and Rubenstein, to his credit, like I saw an interview with him like at the end of last season, and they were like, "Are you going to open up the purse strings?" And he goes, "Listen, I think he's like 78. He's like, I'm 78 years old, and I didn't buy this team to like not enjoy a World Series victory." And he essentially said, "Father Time is undefeated. My time's running out. So yeah, we're probably going to make some moves, but there also has to be like that moment where you're like." I'm going to pull the trigger on this. We should do it, right? Like, yeah, I think we should. How much? Ooh.
Yeah.
Then your nipples go from hard to fucking soft, and you start to quiver inside.
Well, see, and you also, I'm 100% certain in them meetings, you're like, guys, we got to open up the left field fucking mezzanine. Like, we want me shelling out $200 million for somebody. We got to get butts in fucking seats. We got, like, That's where we are, unfortunately. Like the Yankees do it because they're fucking sold out. The Dodgers do it. The Red Sox do it because they're fucking sold out. And yeah, they are fucking tourists. You've got fucking 30 Japanese people. Yeah, tiny. Look, we get it, but like we don't have that luxury. So I get where Rubenstein's coming from. We got to be smart, but you got to play. You got to spend some cash. Now the problem is who's out there for pitching.
Yeah, but I mean, again, but like you said, if like Max Fried's gonna get Corbin Burns money,
And Corbin Burns was supposed to get more than him. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, there was like Evaldi guy who was on the radar, got 3 for 75.
Yeah,
and
which is fine.
And if that was too much for the Orioles' blood, I think that was fair market value. I mean, for a I gotta say number 2 pitcher who's got a really good track record in the postseason, getting $25 million a year, I was like, okay, if it's the time of the contract that scares you, I get it. 8 years for a pitcher is a long goddamn time, especially one with Fried. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but he's got some miles, and he's not like that 30 to 35 start guy a year. Okay, Evaldi is. And if 3 of 75 is too much for your blood, it kind of was like, well, where is your blood?
Yeah.
Is it money?
I did read something about the Houston's not shopping anybody, but Houston's not listening. And I saw Valdez. I saw Valdez on there. I saw what's the other kid? Tyler something? Is it a Tyler outfielder? Kyle, maybe.
Tyler Perry.
Oh, Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker. Yeah, I saw him on there, and I was like, all right, wouldn't mind. But you're gonna have to cough something up for it. You're gonna have to cough a fucking youngster up to get one of them. But is a Valdez worth it? Does it make sense financially for us? Like. That's not a bad move, but I don't know. We got to do something. I saw the Fried thing and I was like, "Fuck,
yeah,
that sucks."
That spun the market wild. Yeah,
that fucked us royally.
Last thing I'll say about the Orioles, though, like, should they go ahead? Okay, if they're not going to open up the bank account for, top tier free agent player, should they go ahead and just like sign all the core guys and just be like, all right, we're going to spend a shit ton of money on just getting every position player locked and loaded, ready to go. We don't have to worry about them and then just keep building the farm for arms.
Well, I mean, it's tough because Elias's method to his mayhem isn't building arm; it's building field players, and arms occasionally come along. And the idea is you sign pitchers. So unless there's like someone that I'm not familiar with in the farm system that could come along and do that, I don't know. And I was thinking about this today, and it got verified on 105.7 The Fan today. They're right now, as the roster's set, they're going to end up platooning six position players. Like you can't platoon. That's three quarters of two-thirds of your position of your starting 9 are going to be platooned. That includes Rutschman. That includes the Wonder Boy because they signed Sanchez, who's supposed to be a stopgap for this catcher. I agree with you, but you got to get some arms, man. You can't. They say like, oh, Rodriguez is going to be a number 1, a guy who went out on the DL twice for oblique problems.
Right.
Ooh, lawnmower, here we come.
That's a Harley. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. Go. The last thing I wanted to touch on before we get to these news things, Belichick and the UNC, a world-renowned thoroughbred in college football. I mean, now that speaks volumes. He said, and I loved when he said, I can't deal with the dirty politics in the NFL. And I'm like, so you're going to go to NIL money? You're going to go to boosters paying players?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. He actually, I read a report. He ended up strong arming UNC. NIL booster money in UNC was $5 million, and he made them guarantee 20.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Let me ask you this: why is no NFL team willing to bring him on?
Listen. I don't know, because at the very least, that guy's a defensive coordinator somewhere. Now, maybe he doesn't want to be a D coordinator, but as a genius of a defensive mind as you can imagine, at the very least, a defensive coordinator position, maybe he didn't want that. Maybe he wanted the head coaching position.
Of course he wants the head coach. I mean, and is he not deserving of it? I mean, I guess he I guess there's certain teams where he's like, no, I'm gonna pass. But like, I mean, he's like a few wins. Isn't he like half a season's worth of wins away from having the most wins of all time as a head coach?
Yeah, Don Shula. Yeah, I to be honest with you, I don't know. I would not suggest it's blackballing, but the only thing I can think of, and Alan, you can chime in on this. Maybe it's just an age thing. Maybe it's just like we don't want a 70-year-old head coach. We want a guy who's a little younger, a little more energetic, and can speak to the boys.
It's actually probably a good point because, like, I don't know. Let's take the last couple years, post Tom Brady era when he was kind of sort of trying to adjust to like the league's different. The league's mad different to the brand of football is different to what Bill Belichick is and has done and did for decades. You know what I'm saying? So like that could be it too. Like this is just a younger forward thinking league now, I think, where they're taking shots on Cliff Kingsbury and being like, this guy fucking sucks for like 6 years, but look at him now. He's all right. You know what I mean? So like, but you get guys who are like, yeah, give me 4'11" Kyler Murray. That's my quarterback. And it works. It somehow fucking works. You know what I mean? And so maybe they're like, listen, Bill, we're not going to load up. They don't even make 400-pound fucking interior D linemen anymore. We can't really play the 3-4 that you want to play. Like, sorry, man.
Well, not that I'm trying to torpedo your logic, but then why would it make sense for him to go to an even younger program in a college scenario? Like, or is it just the colleges are like, he'll put butts in the seats just by being there?
Well, that for a smaller school, I think is a big part of it, right? Like, call North Carolina a smaller school, but for football, they're inconsequential by and large. So I think that's part of it. And college is a little bit more dynamic. Like, yes, college does play that run and gun, but like there are teams that just pro style fucking. So like he can come and run an old school style pro offense, and honestly prepare Division I football players for life in the NFL, probably more adeptly than some of the guys who are, the Georgias, the Alabamas that are just playing stylistically to score 60 fucking points and win national titles. Like that's their MO. He can go there, probably win the ACC, which is fucking not crazy. You know what I mean? Are they still in the ACC?
They are, and there's rumors that it might not even be the ACC, and the ACC might merge with someone.
You know what I mean? So you could probably go win the ACC, and with an expanded fucking college football playoff, Bill Belichick's going to get probably fucking a name or two on the schedule that is worthwhile. You know what I mean? That if they sneak a fucking win out, puts them in the conversation. So now you're a fucking, I guess, major conference winner. If you could put a couple things under your belt with the clout that Bill Belichick gets, it all kind of works out as a perfect storm, and he gets to fuck his girlfriend. He gets to go to her dorm after practice and shit. Right. Like it's you know what I mean?
That kind of torpedoes your argument too. He does seem to know how to relate to the youngins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
He enjoys
they're like a more mature man. Yeah,
he enjoys having sex in a twin bed. It's just like right up his alley.
It's piss coated, so like it squeaks as you're thrusting.
Yeah. His feet are poking out at the end of the mattress with his socks on. It's like
he's wearing a hoodie with the arm sleeves cut off.
Yeah. Well, for ventilation, you don't want to get too hot.
Halfback belly option on too. Okay, here we go.
belly I'll give you a tush push.
I actually respect the shit out of him for this. You know why he dressed like an asshole? Do you guys know the story behind this? He wanted Wes?
No. My guess I don't know. My guess would be was the league trying their best to have like all coaches need to wear NFL apparel. Yeah. And then he was trying to mock it. Was that kind of the
he wanted to wear a suit and tie. He wanted to dress like his heroes, and the league was like, no, we want everybody to wear apparel. And he was like, fine, I'll wear apparel. I'll just make myself look like an asshole the whole time. So he purposefully dressed like a hobo slob just to piss him off. Yeah. He purposely cut those sleeves at a weird angle just so it looked stupid. He hated it, and that was his protest.
I feel like Jack Del Rio, when he was coaching the Panthers, wore a suit that was NFL, like it was NFL apparel. Now I don't know what that means. I don't know. Did they have a tailor and a stylist? But he did it for one game as kind of a a tribute to the old Tom Landrys and the Don Shulas of the world. Why he couldn't have done that, I don't know. But there's like, I don't know. The suit's ridiculous. It's like college basketball. Those guys most of them don't wear suits anymore. Maryland's coach does, but all of them do the quarter zip. You would rock a suit? Yeah. Would you make your staff wear a suit? Your assistant coaches?
Yes, probably. Yeah. Okay. I am not a basketball guy. Surprise, right? But fucking, I remember my nephew was playing rec basketball. He was like 10 years old, and I was like, bro, my brother was the coach, and I was like, we have got to show up in fucking suits, and he wouldn't let me do it. And I was like, dude, you got to be fucking shitting me right here. I'm trying to just be sweating like a pig in a suit, yelling fucking shit at 10-year-old kids. Fucking maybe get myself teed up by a fucking teenage ref. Like, come on, man. This is what we're here for. He wouldn't let me do it.
See that you end up getting like a Gary Williams of the world who doesn't know how to tie a tie.
God, Jesus
and then
Christ.
The bottom flap is always like creaking out, and then he's the only thing that's keeping him contained is the suit, because he's about to blow a fucking 6 or 7 blood vessels, screaming around. The tie's flapping all over the place.
Fucking leaking Seagram's extra dry out of his fucking pores. Like, just look like fucking hell.
I have a great Gary Williams story. So, we got an email for the morning show. The Gary Williams was going to be on the Eastern Shore, and he was going to be doing radio interviews. And we were like, would you want to interview him? Like, fuck yeah, I would. Started talking to him about Maryland basketball, and he was an author about psychology, and his name happened to be Gary Williams.
It was not Coach Gary Williams. It was Dr. Gary Williams.
and as soon as I found that out, I just continued to ask him Maryland basketball questions.
Did he like the bit? Did he like the guy? He didn't like it at all.
He didn't get it. He said, I don't think this is the interview you thought it was. I was like, nah, it's going swell in my opinion. And then he said, well, I think we're going to cut it a little short. I was like, Gary Williams, everyone. Maryland basketball. 2003.
That's exactly what I would have done too.
It's so good. I'm instantly thinking about the lack of cross-referencing your station did. Like, Gary Williams is doing interviews, and you're like, yeah, let's have him on, and someone not you were expecting sits down like, yep, hi, I'm Dr. Gary Williams. Like, the fuck you are. I'm not deviating from this question set, I'll tell you that. So Duke comes to town. Mike Krzyzewski. What?
Yeah, it was one of my finer performances, in my opinion. Just keep going.
Listen, you guys are dropping points in the paint. How do you think you're going to work on that, Gary?
The thing was, I can't remember the title of the book, but the title of the book could have totally been like an inspirational, like
like a
motivational. Like, this is like what I learned, like about the human psychology of people, because I coached young men to become greats and all that jazz. But nope, it didn't work out so well for him. It worked fine for me.
Hilarious. Give a plug to his book, Middle Class Souls, everyone. Foxman, Allen, and Murr. We don't have a friend or foe for you tonight, because Murr and I were bopping around these stories, and it was like, you know what? All 3 of these stories are worth some mention. So we're going to do a little round table. We're going to hit on them, and you folks are going to be entertained. First, coming from this is interestingengineering.com.
Boy.
World's most dangerous toy with real uranium radioactive materials up for sale. That's right, folks. From the 1950s, an almost 74-year-old toy dubbed the world's most dangerous is going on sale. The coveted toy from the 50s contains actual uranium. The radioactivity atomic energy kit, known as Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Laboratory, was created by Alfred Carlton Gilbert, not to be confused with Gilbert Arenas if you're doing interviews later, an American inventor who developed the erector construction toy concept. So your thoughts on, I don't even know if this is the actual toy that's for sale, but it is for sale, and you could grow a dick out of your abdomen if you purchase it.
I just think there was a time, 1, a more innocent time, 2, a less regulated time, and 3, a time where kids they were giving them a lot more credit for, like not being like just little dumbasses. Like, hey, listen, kids, you're gonna build the future, and the future is nuclear. Have fun. Like, what can you come up with? Like, what did they want them to do with it? I guess is the point. Like, how was it
I don't know. Create a mini Hiroshima in their backyard? Yeah. I'll see if I can get to the bottom of what this kit did. Alan, you had said when we brought this up pre-show, you were like, yeah, they did that a lot back in the 50s. This isn't abnormal.
Yeah. Well, one, it was part because, like, we didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, all right, perfect example. Like, old Hot Wheels. That was lead paint. Like, we're all of an age where most of the Hot Wheels we chewed on as fucking idiot infants had lead paint on them. So, like, and that's because it was those were made in the 70s to 80s, and we didn't know yet that fucking it made you a mush brain and you wouldn't be able to read. And then by the 90s, we were like, fuck, this is bad. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it was the same thing. It was the 1950s, and we were like, listen, the future is nuclear. We got to get the kids working on the sciences. What's the most powerful thing that we have? Well, we just killed a bunch of fucking slants with one of these things. Let's here, let's give it to the kids, and they're going to fucking make amazing things. We'll have a fucking whole line of Robert Oppenheimers, but with American names like Johnson, fucking Stevens, and shit. You know what I mean? And then, like, by the 60s, 70s, 80s, people were like, you know what? We were giving kids uranium, guys.
Yeah.
Any of those kids, do any of those kids have, like, throat cancer? Which one of those kids was chewing on the uranium? Like, I think it was just not lack of knowledge at the time in a different world where we were like, you know what? Uranium's going to do everything. It's going to power cars. Yeah. We're going to have folding suitcases like the Jetsons. It's going to do all this stuff. And the kids are going to usher in that era of dominance. And nope. Never happened.
So here, okay, the laboratory kit contains a cloud chamber, allowing the viewer to watch alpha particles traveling at 12,000 miles per second, with a spintrioscope showing the results of the radioactive disintegration on a fluorescent screen, and an electroscope for measuring the radioactivity of different substances in the set, which includes but not limited to carbonite and uranite, turbinite, and uranite.
It sounds to me like they knew absolutely what they were doing, Alan. They were just like, listen, you gotta break a few eggs and make this fucking nuclear omelet. So let's get these kids started early. It's like William upstairs, like coding for Roblox. Like they just was like, fuck it, let them have it. Let's see what they can come up with. See what these young minds can imagine for the future. But there were several things like this. That they used. Uranium became like this like go-to thing. There's if you watch like Antique Roadshow, people will bring in lead boxes, like glassware that's coated with uranium, because it would like I think it would glow at night or something.
Yeah, so like there's the whole story of like I forget which watchmaker it was.
Yeah,
they had women that would hand paint watch faces. And they would paint them with uranium-enriched paint.
It wasn't. It was radium. It was radium.
Radium.
Yeah.
And like literally, like even in like the span of a decade, like these ladies, to keep the fine tip on their fucking paintbrush would, and so their fucking jaws would fall. Yeah. We didn't really know what cancer was. We were just like, this lady's fucking jaw's falling off, and doctors were like, ugh. Must be the vapors, or you know what I mean? Like they had no fucking idea. And then 10, 20 years later, you're like, hey guys, you know what? Eating glowing stuff, bad. It's literally just the advancement. Like we advanced humanity too fast and didn't even know it.
Now drink this barium and feel better.
Yeah, we were like, look at these glowing rocks. Let's give them to kids. This is fucking great.
They'll love them.
20 years later, we were like, I was wondering why Johnny died of a fucking mysterious brain issue at the age of 12. Well, chewing on barium. Well, that'll fucking do it.
It's a bunch of scientists and CEOs in a room smoking cigarettes. Like, all right, what are we gonna do? I don't know. I don't know.
And a secretary's ass just got slapped. It's like, what are we doing, guys? The kids are dying. What do you think here?
More trifospheres for the kids. Next up, coming out of Taiwan, no monkeys in this story. I apologize to you folks. Chinese man trapped in a well in Thailand for 3 days as villagers mistake his cries for helps of ghostly sounds. That's right. He was, oh, help me! I'm fucking down in this fucking well, you dumb fucks! And they're like, "Phew, sounds like a ghost. I'm not calling for help." 3 goddamn days. Jesus Christ, people. Someone, at least, then call that. I don't even know. Call an exorcist if you think it's a ghost. Call somebody, anybody.
Well, he's a ghost now. That's the important part. They were willing it to be. Yeah, why wouldn't you report it? What do you? And by the way, I have always fancied like the Asian cultures to be like the braver cultures. You know what I mean? Like facing down fears. Like, but there is nothing, in my opinion, funnier than a terrified Asian man. Oh, they're very emotive. They run, they scurry. They don't run, they scurry. Like they have very short steps and they tend to go quickly in one direction or another. They don't know the direction, but man, they commit to it. And just the fact that this guy's in the bottom of a well and they think it's a spirit, it's kind of amazing.
Jesus
I got
Christ. Hey, the man identified as 22-year-old Liu Chao Yi. Later, through a translator, said, "I shouted for help once every hour to conserve my strength." On Sunday evening, members of a passing patrol unit heard someone for crying, but was unaware of the source. Blah blah blah. It was a 12-meter well. Oh, God. How do people fall in wells? I don't know. They couldn't see that well. Yuck, yuck. But come on, people, do better, be better. You're right. And you noted it. These are honest folks.
Well, I've learned something. If I'm at the bottom of a well, I'm not going to yell help. I'm going to yell, "I'm not a ghost."
I don't know. I think I heard a ghost say that once.
Pretty suspect.
That's right from the Ghost Handbook. They tell you they're not a ghost.
I would like to think, by the way, in the 21st fucking century, that we would maybe put ghost as like in second place to like real person trapped at the bottom. But here we are, bunch of dumb fucking animals.
Yeah, and coming to you finally, this is from consequence.net. Liquid Death, and I assume that's a company, and Depend unveil.
Wait, pause. You don't know what Liquid Death is?
Is that a no idea. Is it? Oh, it's a beer, right?
It's no, canned water.
Ah, you see, they tricked you.
Yeah, they got you.
For us white folk who are embarrassed about our sparkling waters, they put water in a fucking can and dressed it up to look like a craft beer can, so that like you walk around, it looks like you're drinking a beer, but you're just drinking sweet, delicious.
I think it looks kind of like an energy drink, and like if we see like you two guys carrying an energy drink, like it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay, so Liquid Death, aka Water Company, and Depend unveil, drumroll, the Pit Diaper. That's right. Concert goers who want to watch from the pit face 2 challenges. First, you got to go through a crowd to get to the show. If you're that far front, once they're there, there's the inevitable conjuring. How does one hit the bathroom without losing their spot? Well, problem solved. You can piss your pants. Alan, you've mosh pitted your way into a bathroom at a incredibly yeah. Sorry. I wish I had that. I wish I had that security on there. You didn't require. But I'm going to show you this. For those of you who haven't seen it, that's marketing right there.
Oh yeah, I'd wear that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'd wear just that too.
That's like white you anyway, Alan.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. No, okay. I mean, that looks good, man.
That's for you mosh pit goers. You now have a solution to
metal.
Your PP issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the belt looks pretty pretty good too. And you got a belt buckle. I don't know if that's interchangeable, but you got a skull that's burning.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will say that maybe put a little more of a like a boxer brief leg on there, and maybe you got something.
Okay.
Because
I
I mean, look,
don't hate that. Yeah.
the kind of guy who's willing to wear that is probably a-okay with just pissing their regular pants anyway, and not really giving a shit about it.
No, I wouldn't piss my pants, but I would wear that just for. But I'm also like, you guys know, I'll do shit just for funsies, like just for the shock value of it. Like, I got no problem with that. So, yeah, I would do this. Also, as an elder, like punk rock, emo, what ska kid, whatever you want to call me, a mix of it all. Fucking, yeah, I can't hold my pee that well. So, like, this ain't bad. It depends on how big the club is. You know, I can wear some. I'm adept at crowd work, so it's not a big deal. I can get in and out. I'm slippery. We saw it at karaoke.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would wear this if you know, or like if they were like if they were like, you know what, we're doing Woodstock again, and there's like 400,000 people, and we're gonna go watch fucking like Limp Bizkit cause a public fucking riot. Like, I'm not walking back out the 100,000 people to get to the spotter pot, bud. I'm just fucking. I'm pissing. I'm pissing in the fucking depend, the death pend.
The Pit Diaper.
Yeah, the Pit Diaper.
I will say, Depends has been. It's kind of been a slow burn for them to try to like de-age their market, because Depends were always growing up as like, oh, grandma's lost her mind. She doesn't know when, you know, like, and so you just strap these like adult diapers on them and just send them about their way and just like let them lay down and watch Family Feud. But then Tony Saragusa, God rest his soul. Oh God.
Slipping in piss. Toilets filled with puke. Oh, man. Look at this. Problem solved. It's got chains. It's got everything. I got a chain
it's got
wallet.
the wallet chain. Yeah.
Yeah, everything you need. Oh, you spilled some liquid. Look at this. Even the brown beer. Nothing. For those of you who are listening, we'll put this link out. Great advertisement,
dude. That is great advertising. You know, they had Tony Saragusa. He came on and he started doing Depends ads because they were trying to de-age the audience. And I think we've kind of entered an era of American culture where people are less embarrassed about things. They're more willing to brag about like convenience over disgust. So like, oh, are you wearing a diaper? Yeah. Why? You seen me fucking leave the party for the bathroom? No, you haven't. Rah! You know, like it's going to get to a point in I'm going to say 5-year soak where fraternities are good. This is going to be like, all right, boys, you guys strapped in, you got your Depends on. All right, let's go hoop it up. We're never leaving the scene. This is where we are now. I've thought about it. I mean, I'm in a delivery truck all day. Think I want to stop to piss every fucking 45 minutes to an hour? No, sir. We just got to make them a little thinner.
You're telling me that this is going to change the landscape of fraternity parties with the frat bros?
I'm saying I would not be shocked if this became like a college staple that on like Rager night, everybody throws on their Depends. Nobody leaves the fucking party floor.
Dude, you mean to tell me that if we weren't all fucking hanging out, having a good time before a party, that if one of us walked in and was like, guys, I got 2 packs of these bad boys. Let's fucking go. Most of us would have been like, yeah, let's go. Let's do that. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing tonight.
Football games, tailgate parties, like everybody, like you gotta fucking like same thing. You like, are you gonna walk a quarter mile to the fucking porta pot, or are you gonna stay and fucking do some Jaeger bombs, baby? Stay and do some Jaeger bombs.
Not even the walk though. Like me and you have been at a tailgate and like stood in line and been like, oh my God, I gotta piss. Like, because you're holding it for dear life because you don't want to leave the Rager. And then you gotta go stand in line with a bunch of fucking strangers in a shitty porta potty. You could just let it out.
Yeah,
Keep
and
it
then
going.
you get there and you're breathing in medieval times fucking filth and disease that you would only see in modern day TLC Hoarders episodes. It's fucking tragic.
You're huffing
exactly.
enough ammonia that you wish there was a Hot Wheels nearby that you could
Dude,
fucking
I
gnaw
went
on
in.
to
I went
all that
in
down.
a porta potty in Chicago. We were up there for this soccer thing, and I went in the porta pot. This was probably, this couldn't have been more than like noon, maybe 1 in the afternoon. And I went in, just gotta go take my normal piss, and I just happened to look to my left as I was pissing. I was just kind of looking around, fucking the little urinal that's like to your left normally.
Yeah.
Honker of a fucking Duke. Just
Yeah.
somebody was like,
And you know what?
and it just ran out of that porta potty.
No. I don't even think they were doing it for a joke. I think they were like, you know what's less disgusting? Shitting in the urinal fucking
That's
spot.
fair, actually.
You know, because I feel honestly because like when I take the boy to his little soccer games, like they've got this like little row of porta pots. So you know, if you get there after they've cleaned them, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for a porta pot seat to become a fucking hazmat site?
2 people.
So I feel bad for all the
two
soccer
users.
moms that have to go
the
in
moms.
there. And it's like these bitches, and then you'll hear them like, "There's no paper in this one," and they'll like one of them will stand guard, like they'll rotate shifts, like to warn the other moms going in, like, "No TP in this one, no TP, nope. All right, you got it. All right, you manned a post, no TP in this one," and they'll just tell each other. It's like the one to the right, don't use it. I feel bad for them, man. So you start to let the 40 and 30-year-olds know that, hey, man, it's socially acceptable to go out to an event with a diaper on.
With the pit diaper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be the
pit
leather.
diaper.
That doesn't have to be this leather strapped fucking
No, it could just be a
extravaganza.
regular one. Yeah.
But listen, it takes, and you can call me sexist if you want, but it takes men to normalize disgusting things in order for it to translate its way down to the other gender. Like, men have to be like, babe, listen, I'm telling you, you gotta try on the pit diaper. And then they'll call it something else. They'll call it the daisy diaper or something like that. And it's like for men and women. And then it's like, oh, you know, I think you were right. They go to their fucking Dave Matthews concert and like, Dave, and they're tweaking their nipples and they're fucking pissing their pants.
Yeah, that's we were prepping for our 10K that we ran like a couple weeks ago, and there were what you described were there's probably not hundreds but dozens upon dozens of porta potties before the start line, and someone was there telling them like that one doesn't have toilet paper, that one doesn't have toilet paper. And I thought, all right, you're worried about a little bit of dribble when the friction that you're about to manifest here over the next 6+ miles is, I'd say, like quasi-wildly more disgusting than a couple dribbles of urine. But you do you. I'm not a woman. I don't know.
I think most of them want the toilet paper to either coat the seat or wipe the seat.
Yeah, probably.
Probably more than the vagina.
Is there yeast infection ramifications? Isn't it for like all things?
I tell you this though,
probably.
I would not. Okay, I shit at the toilets at work pretty regularly every day, and
I like how you comment that. I do regularly every day. Yeah,
Every day.
sometimes twice a day. And sometimes you get those nice fucking like what would normally at your house be like the perfect turd, but then and you get that little fucking splash of water that touches the asshole.
Ooh,
I'm like,
fake
ooh,
bidet. Yeah.
I'm getting an abscess right there. There's literally like a polyp of disease growing on my fucking cinnamon ring right now. I know it. You know what I
no.
mean? And now imagine that's not fucking dirty work toilet water, and that's all of a sudden multi-generational, multi-counties worth of human beings fucking blue goo that hits you right in the twat. Yeah, I feel like that's worse than a yeast infection. I feel like
You need to play with a uranium-filled toy or to
Yes.
nullify things.
I might go buy. You know what? And this is the seed is planted. I might go buy a pack of Depends not the Pit Viper Depends or whatever the fuck they're called.
These are $75 a pop just for you're paying for the leather. You're paying for the craftsmanship, not for the.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for the fucking absorbent material. I think for $15 for a fucking 10-pack or something, and maybe I'll give them a whirl. We did have our intern wear Depends for a whole show one time, and it was rather amazing to know that he was pissing, because it's true that you stop for a second every time. You could tell.
Oh, I gotcha.
Mid-sentence, it was just like, did you just piss? Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm wearing it, right? Like, yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, there's a human function.
Is this the same one that you wrapped in bubble wrap and hit at 30 miles an hour with a pickup truck?
It wasn't 30 miles an hour. It was probably 15, but and it was a van.
I thought it was like 20, and I had to pause. It's like 20 miles an hour?
It was enough to where when we hit him, we instantly hit the brakes, and he toppled backwards probably 10 to 15 feet. But
Okay.
again,
same guy though, right? Same
same one. Yeah.
Oh gosh, well, you put him through the ringer, man. I have to say, this is we should have taken some notes, Alan. We should have passed this along. Like, hey, they're doing,
I know, right?
They're doing some wild things down at such and such.
WZBH.
WZBH, Frostburg State. Here we come. Here we come. Folks, well, I hope you enjoyed these 3 news stories that we had for you. Let us know if the Pit Diaper is going to be a stocking stuffer for you and yours.
I'll stuff my stocking in there, I'll tell you that much.
All right, Murr, you probably have some undeniable, verifiable facts via a rip-off calendar. You got to be getting down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, that book has to be pretty much shredded to bits now. But let's hear it. Let's Fun Fact Friday it up.
Yeah, in fact, they there's a notification in the calendar that says time to reorder, and I have been scouring the Amazon. I'm looking for something new for next year, because I feel like the OMG facts are going to recycle themselves here in the 2025. But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. OMG facts! Brought to you, of course, by our good friend, the Cuckster. The Cuckster is gearing up for some holiday action over on Instagram. You can find him on there. Cuckster for Life. That's Cuckster for Life. Any stocking stuffing going on with the Cuckster and his wife?
Well, someone asked the Cuckster, weirdly enough, if he was a boxer or a briefs guy, and he gave a very candid answer that sometimes it's boxer, sometimes it's briefs, sometimes it's panties that his wife wore after a cuck, and sometimes it's commando, and he referenced Suburban Commando and that evil imposter known as Hulk Hogan, starring in the Christopher Lloyd classic circa 1991.
Oh, wow. So the Cuckster's getting sued real soon, and receiving a cease and desist order on Instagram. Cuckster for Life.
No, the cucking will never stop. Let me tell you that. That'll never decease.
Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you. Did you know? In 75% of American households, the women manage the money and pay the bills.
That's not that surprising, honestly.
Really? See, I think, my opinion is, in this generation, that has changed. I believe in my parents' generation, our parents' generation, that's true. Because I think it was more analog, but I think as we've crossed into the more digital finance department, I feel like dudes are probably taking over that. I know I am.
Yeah. I agree. I'd like to see like 20 years ago what that was and how the data and statistics have changed. Because I do think because I'm not saying Sarah's incapable. I just handle it. Now we rent, so it's a little bit different.
You are also kind of a control freak there, sir. So I feel like you.
No.
That was a very sinister chuckle, by the way.
But there's also there's friends of ours like Brian Raxton, who I had politely asked him. I said, "Hey, you all haven't RSVP'd for our wedding, and the due date was yesterday." And he's like, "Wait, oh yeah." Raven handles all that. She handles everything. I got it. Yeah, understood.
I mean, so I don't
even scanning the QR code.
Yeah, like yes. Bills are like Kelly legitimately handles that. Like when you kept asking me about Jamaica, I was like, I don't fucking know. Kelly made the reservation. I'm just a fucking money guy. Like, I don't know. I'm going to Jamaica at some point in January. That's what I know. Like, but for bills, like, I don't know this. Like you said, I think you're right because it was analog is a little bit different. And like back then, I guess there was the more of the stay at home. Guy goes to work, so she's got time to balance the checkbook. You know what I mean? For us, like, there was, I guess, a time where like we never really divvied them up, but like when we first started living together, like Kelly called BGE and set BGE up, and I set Verizon up, so they were coming out of like our accounts separately. But like now, for probably the last God, I don't even know at this point, everything's been on fucking auto pay. So like neither of us handles it because it just fucking comes out of that account over there where all the fucking goods go. Like. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well,
it's weird.
I'll say this, even though you say that with the auto pay, which is absolutely correct. I've had 3 times like your personal information has been compromised. We're sending you a brand new credit card, yada yada yada. I'm like, oh shit, because then this guy's got to go figure out like the DirecTV, the all the passwords for everything. Oh shit, the trash comes out of that fucking card. Oh, this. Every bill I pay goes to one credit card. I only pay one bill. I only pay the credit card bill. Everything goes to it. So when that credit card's fucked, which is on me, I got to fix every fucking thing. And she doesn't know. This is what's so great about it. She doesn't know how the bills get paid, but when there's one erroneous charge, she fucking sees that one. Do you know where this $86 one came from? Like $86. That's the one thing.
Sure. That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one you're worried about. You're not worried about all this other shit. It's the $86 that says DK for DraftKings. Okay, that's the one you're gonna fucking. Which I haven't done yet, but it's coming soon, Wes. I'm telling you. I think I'm gonna have to re-up. I think I have to go back on my promise.
Wes chalked me into that. That's funny. You guys are like sending a glaring endorsement for marriage here, but yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out.
Listen, everybody. Listen, honestly, this is the thing about the stay-at-home wife thing that is really. I'm telling you, man. I long for that day. I'd love her to not work because that would mean that the house would be clean all the time. Dinner would be ready every night getting home from work. There's a worthwhile existence in that. There would be no daycare. There is a worthwhile, like, I respect you. I love you. I don't think less of you for performing these tasks. I wish they were done. Now we've got like a moderately clean home. Dishes are always in the sink. Dinner's a rush every night. Yeah, it's just, ugh.
Well, that's the wrong.
See, here's the thing, though. You could have just like not had a kid and paid somebody to do that shit.
Oh, I could have not had the most fulfilling thing that I've ever had in my life. You're good point.
Man, hey, look, that's good for you. I'm just saying.
You can't knock it until you. Listen.
You know, it's fulfilling to me not cleaning my own house.
I'm telling you right now that anybody that's had a kid does not regret the child.
Oh, I get it. I'm fucking perfectly happy with not having one.
By the way, it is an intellectual battle having a child.
I believe you.
You think you've got logic and reason figured out, and that you can communicate that to another human. No. Oh, but wait till they. Oh yeah, I know. That's the thing.
Had you never been around kids before you had a kid?
Yeah, but you think you got it figured out. You think, oh, I got a magic trick. No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
I've been around enough kids. I have nieces and nephews and shit. I knew that shit. No, hell no. That's also why I don't want a kid.
It says they start having opinions without logic.
Yeah,
without reason.
Or like you said, they play your favorite part of the fucking movie a million times, and then you hate it. Like, nope, I'm good.
I'll say this: it keeps you sharp. It
Hard
keeps
pass.
you sharp. It does. It really does. But
as sharp as that knife that cuts the duck's head off. Oh, good. Good thing was.
Did you know it takes about 3 apples to make 1 glass of apple cider that you will drink? By the way, 1 glass of. Nobody drinks. Who drinks apple cider anymore? Anyway,
I've literally have to be at like a farm doing something. Like somebody's gonna be like, hey, it's a scene. If there's not like barn animals and hay and fucking shit, I'm not drinking cider. What is that shit? Give me an apple juice. I'll take an apple juice. But
Yeah, if I find myself at a Sadie Hawkins dance, and there's apple cider being passed around. Yeah, okay, I'll indulge.
I'm at a fall fest. You know what I mean? And there's fucking things. There's lots of pumpkins and other gourds around. Yeah, I'll take an apple cider.
Other gourds. That might be my favorite sentence in a month. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I think oranges and orange juice is even less. I think it's like 7 or 8 oranges.
Yeah, you got to really. I mean, that is kind of impressive, I guess. That it's only 3 apples.
Well, I think they're denser. Sorry.
What do you mean?
So like 3 apples is gonna make more juice than, like you said, like 6 oranges or 3 oranges, because like the apple's denser, it's meatier. So when you actually like, it's the juice.
Yeah.
Whereas like oranges, it's more air than water. It's not like,
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Well,
not,
I guess
the argument was there's so don't drink orange juice. It's just so much condensed sugar, natural sugar. Just eat the orange.
Just eat the
But
orange.
you got to peel it and all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the fiber in the fucking meat of the orange balances out the fucking pure sugar you're basically eating. Yeah.
That's true as well. But like, I mean, because cider's just basically, it's like all of the apple has moisture in it, whereas like all that fucking like cellophane fucking pulpy shit and orange is just empty nothing. It's just
That's the
fibrous
shit that
bullshit.
keeps you from the diabetes that the sugar is going to give you.
True. But if you just drink the juice, you got to drink like, it's like your body's like, holy shit. It would take me a week to get this much sugar in my body.
Yeah.
Now, here's another question. Were any of you applesauce fans or are?
I was as a kid.
It's okay, I guess.
I'll tell you what though,
As a kid, I was a huge applesauce fan. I don't crave it, or I don't eat it that much as an adult. But as a kid, I was like, applesauce, fuck yeah. Where's the spoon?
What's weird about that, and this is another fun thing about having a kid, is like you have limitless snacks in the house at all times. Shit you would never know, like Little Debbie, fucking like fudge rounds, fucking like Swiss cake rolls, just things that you would never buy yourself. Like if you were at the grocery store, it's like, late at night, maybe your mind's been changed a little bit, and you're like, oh, I'm hungry for something.
See,
goldfish.
Here's a parallel between people with kids and people without kids. I also have those things in my fridge because I'm an adult and I just buy them and I want them.
I know, but like,
you know what I mean?
But as you get older, because I'm like 10 years older than you, you just don't walk around the grocery like buying up fucking Little Debbie's and shit. And then you get a kid and you're like, like shit you can revisit.
Go back to. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. But no, I had a bowl of applesauce, like, because he wasted it. He was just like, I don't want any more of this. And I was like, holy shit, applesauce is fucking... That's a banger, dude. Like, you're sleeping on applesauce if you haven't had it in a while. Go buy, Wes, go buy yourself a fucking, moderate jar of applesauce and just fucking put a spoon in it and see what you think.
I mean, it is delicious.
It is delicious.
Yeah, see, but you gotta then at my age now. Back then, I wasn't looking at any of the ingredients.
See,
now I'm like, all right, I want stuff that's made from real apples.
Yeah.
I want less fructose corn syrup.
I think the bigger problem is it makes me feel like an invalid. Like, it makes me feel like I'm either I don't have teeth yet or I have lost all of my teeth. I'm either at the beginning of life or end of life.
Oh,
and like when I'm eating applesauce, I'm like,
listen, just put your pit diaper on.
I scrape it off of my own chin with my spoon and put it back in my mouth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You do the airplane for yourself.
Yeah, just useless. Like I'm not even eating it. I'm just it's just fun.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I went. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Now there was what in middle school they did you had to I don't remember what it was. Like you had to perform a task or how to do something. I played a hole of golf, but I didn't actually hit the golf club. I brought in some clubs and like, oh yeah, you tee up, and then I put it in a putting machine. But someone made applesauce, and I remember from real apples, and boy oh boy was it terrible. It was like, when are the brownies coming? That's what I want to know.
Special brownies from that guy with long hair. It smells weird.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you know? Before people drank coffee, they had been chewing on its beans for about 400 years.
I feel like I knew that because
I thought the
was
leaves,
watching.
like the coca leaves, I thought that was a thing.
The leaves is what like they gnaw, kind of like they don't eat them. They just kind of like you kind of you teeth them.
Yeah, and then you like almost you make your own like dip, and then you suck on it for a while, and then you know, and then
Yeah. What are the guys? What are Captain? Fuck, I was gonna say Captain Ron, the Kurt Russell movie.
Kangaroo.
Yeah, Captain Phillips. No, was it the Tom Hanks?
Yeah, Captain Phillips. Yeah.
You know, what are the pirates are constantly gnawing on something? It's a drug though. It's not.
It's something similar to that. I don't know what that is from that region of the world. It could be similar to this, but it's just basically there's a lot of caffeine in there, and it just fucking juices you the fuck up.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But no, I mean, but it comes back to like we like to juice everything. We always find a way to juice it.
Yeah, we
you know,
do.
like
Yeah, you're right.
oranges, juice it. Apples, juice it. Hey, what's this bean? I don't know. Just fucking juice it.
Which is really the worst thing you could do with fruit is like the sugar is nullified by you eating the fruit, and we're like, you know what? Just give me that fucking sugar, baby. I just want that. That's all I
Straight
do.
to the teeth, man.
Yeah.
Give me that drip.
Let's take these beans that I've been gnawing on. Let's take 1,000 of them and ground them to smithereens and run hot water through it.
Well, no, but you say ground them, but like the thing is, it's like no, but let's first toast them, not roast them. Let's not overcook them. Let's cook them slightly, and then we'll like. Thank God for all of these generations of humans that came before us to fucking like figure all this horse shit out. Because like the fuck was it the Mayans or the Aztecs? Like they're the ones that fucking started that shit. Or wait, no, it was the Arabs. The Arabs that figured it out first.
What?
The coffee.
Oh yeah, was it Arabs?
What we know of as modern. What we know as modern coffee.
Yeah, I think it was
Grounding
the
it,
Arabs
filtering it.
that figured out like that. Oh, because I think technically the coffee bean, I assume it's a fruit.
Well,
'Cause
it
it's
is
got-
a fruit. The bean comes out of. I think the bean's like a
And so then they had to figure out to fucking toast this motherfucker, like turning it in a fucking like metal cauldron over a open flame, and then like, what are we gonna do with it now? I know. let's put it on a rock and fucking like grind it up, and then we'll boil some water and drip it through there. Oh yeah, good idea.
history of coffee. First from its origin in Ethiopia, and then later in Yemen.
Okay, so it was
Africa.
our African people
Yeah.
got that shit done.
By the way, the Dennis Leary second stand-up special, the coffee flavored coffee bit holds up the test of time. It is still funny. You know, some of those 90s, especially like the early 90s comedy specials, you're like, okay, all right, maybe it is what it is, but coffee flavored coffee stands
Hey,
up.
I give a nod to Starbucks over the last several years because they have definitely de-escalated the pretentiousness. Because like I don't know what I just want a black coffee when I go in there. The Dennis Leary bit. I am the Dennis Leary bit guy, and I'll go in. I'll say, "Can I get a large black coffee?" And they'll go, and I'll see what they're typing into the screen. It's none of the words I said, but they just translate it and give me exactly what I want. So, again, kudos to you, Starbucks. Thank you.
Come in here and punch in a haiku writing motherfucker. Then he called me a haiku writing motherfucker. I hope he's in trouble.
Did you know? At its height, the British Empire ruled over 23% of the world's population.
I thought it would have been more. 23 at its
I mean,
height.
a quarter of the globe's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta think of like what at the time, the Mongols, and then you had like the Russian czars, and the Portuguese
Right.
were doing their thing, and then I mean that's a good squirrely chunk.
25%, yeah. And they still have there's still isles, there's still British isles that you know, kind of quasi are under their rule. They're like, yeah, whatever. We do our own thing. But we have a British flag under our own.
Who was the old man that died? Was it Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, who never got to be king?
Wow.
He died
Did he
like a
die
year. So
recently?
the queen, yeah, well, a year and a half ago. Yeah, so
Okay.
she died, and he died a year before her. She died like I don't know, like 6 or 7 months ago. Maybe
Yeah,
more
so
than that.
he went to like I don't know, it was just some rinky dink island. They were doing like like they were basically make sure they visit every island like once a decade, and it was just like, I mean, people that don't look British, okay,
Yeah.
wearing grass skirts and things, and there's like a picture of him when he was probably like in his 30s, like stapled to a tree, and he gets there and they're like, "Oh, he's back!" It was, and he was just tickled. It was amazing that they like hold him in such reverence. Because every time he comes, of course, he brings like riches and food and shit, and they're like, "Oh fuck yeah,
Coffee flavored coffee.
coffee
Good
flavor
stuff.
coffee man's back."
Yeah. There's also like I found like the World Baseball Classic. There's a Caribbean island that goes under the Dutch. I'm not gonna remember what it is, but they're not under Dutch rule, but it's a Dutch isle, so to speak.
And from what I understand, that's why the royals still get a stipend like from the populace, is because like they're the richest landowners in the world, so that they're like, well, you guys don't do shit, but we enjoy Turks and Caicos, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
And finally, did you know George Washington grew marijuana in his garden?
You think old George indulged?
Dude, you didn't fucking. None of you watched Dazed and Confused?
I mean, I don't think he was growing it for the smokability, but I think they were hemp.
Martha Washington was a hip lady, man.
Is that fucking stoner?
Yeah. He said
Yeah, but
George would
no-
come in from a long day, fucking running the country. Martha would have a fat J rolled up for him.
Yeah, we could only wish, right?
No, hemp was hemp. Joe Rogan's probably said this a billion times.
Hemp, baby.
About hemp is like, hemp is a more durable. Probably it grows faster than trees. Who was the media mogul that Citizen Kane was based on?
I forget his name.
Hearst.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, William Randolph Hearst.
So he owned basically like all the forest land that was cut down for paper, because he owned
Newspaper.
half the papers in the fucking country. And so he had all the paper mills, and hemp came along, and they had the decorticator, which made it easier to process hemp. And they were like, hemp, fucking crop of the future. And he was like, bullshit. Watch this. There's a bunch of angry Mexicans and those dirty blacks out there getting all fucking high on the marijuana. And marijuana was just a name for a wild Mexican tobacco. And he made this. He demonized this crop and got those dirty lobbyists in there to get the politicians to pass some laws to get rid of the marijuana. Started fucking putting out pictures, moving pictures, the talkies, Reefer Madness, and all that shit. And that's why we are where we are today. And I wish we could look back in time and say, like, yeah, that was kind of fucked up the way we did that. Whew. Let's undo it now that we know better. But we don't. Yeah. And Washington grew it because it was a very durable... They made ropes out of it, paper.
It's a cash crop.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Good for old George. Good for him. It's a couple ticks up in my book. My book's pretty thin, but he's up there.
The Shane Gillis entire bit
on
Washington.
Yeah. It's great, yeah.
Is absolutely run. It's George. It is just fucking phenomenal. If you have not watched Beautiful Dogs, Shane Gillis, do yourself a solid.
Who the hell is gonna take on the Delaware River when it's icy cold? A 6'2" retard.
That too.
Let's go.
He wore lead in his mouth for a decade.
Yeah.
That gives you rabies-like symptoms. Oh my god. Amazing. But that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Tonight on Before You Go, we're going to sandwich in a couple middle class holes of the month this week, and next week we're going to make up for lost time. Sorry, we don't have 12 for you. But coming out of Sandy, Utah, angry customer drives car into Sandy dealership after return denied. Folks, there's a thin line between heroic and criminal, between badassery and idiocy. So, according to Sandy police, Michael Murray bought a car at Tyndale Mazda Southtown on Monday morning. Apparently, it was as is. There was like no questions asked, etc., etc. Takes it off the lot, finds out it's a lemon, and old Michael Murray just decided to take matters into his own hands and leave his own Google review via smashing it in through the dealership's front windows. Murray allegedly threatened to drive through the dealership front door, wouldn't give him his money back. Oh yeah, so he did say, "Hey, I want my money back, or I'm going to do this." The dealership said, "Kiss our ass," and old Murray checked out the RPMs. There wasn't a lemon in the acceleration, that's for sure.
It's strong bumper as well, apparently.
Yeah, your thoughts on this vigilante justice that Mr. Murray took in his own hands at Sandy, Utah?
Alan?
What? I wasn't paying attention. I was reading something. Sorry.
Guy bought an as-is lemon. Part of it has to do. What they're not going to tell you is it had to do with like people with bad credit. The way they could buy a car, and then he got pissed off.
Motors, your job's your credit. Yeah, I got you.
Right, and realized after he got it off the lot that he bought a lemon and said, "I want my money back." The dealership said, "Kiss my ass." He said, "I'm going to drive it through the fucking front door," and they said, "Well, kiss our ass twice." And he revved up the old RPMs and blasted it through there.
He got Scott Donahue. I got it. I know how it goes. I mean, hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. He didn't kill nobody. He just drove it through a fucking glass door.
Yeah, I mean, vigilante justice seems to be the theme of the month.
It's probably gonna be like felony, something, because plate glass is expensive, but but yeah, fuck it. And what else are you gonna do with it? Just leave it there. Or got out and walk to the bus stop or something. You know what I mean?
Good point. Right. I mean, if you know that you can't afford the repairs to the 1997 Toyota Tercel, and you just want your revenge, you might as well. I mean, what's
it gonna? Yeah.
I thought there were lemon laws in this country still. I mean, I've seen some spectacular like Facebook and X. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna say it.
No,
X post. Nope. Gonna say it. X.
Twitter.
Seen some X posts where like people are bragging about like their interest rates and like their monthly payment on for these no credit needed sites, like only $22,000 for my 2006 Toyota Corolla, like at 6%. Like, oh my god, like people getting fleeced. They can't afford to be fleeced. So, look, if you drive it off the lot and it's fucking hasn't had an oil change in 7 years, then yeah, and you don't think anybody's going to get your back, fuck it. Do what you do.
He doesn't face it, like, in the grand scheme of things, booked into jail and faces charges of felony, I guess felony doesn't go longer. Criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. I guess, like I say, limited charges, but the felony does kind of put a little Yuletide cheer, a la Salt Bay on the top of that puppy.
Yeah, but you know what? The reason he probably doesn't have any credit is because he's probably faced all these issues in his previous life anyway. Right, he got out of jail. He's probably got a fucking 150 credit score. What are you gonna do?
As is. I'll show you as is. Oh, so there you have it. Our middle class holes badass of kind of the month. We'll have another one for you next week, and then we'll vote on the badass of the year. Alan, tell all the lemon buyers and the disgruntled individuals in this thing that we call man where you can find the middle class holes.
Go to kellybluebook.com for all your lemon law needs. There's a whole page about it, actually. Anyway, if you want more of this riveting fucking grown-up talk about lemon laws and felony fucking destruction of property, you can follow us at all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes. Yeah, it's still fucking Twitter. Don't you look at me that way. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and fucking Grindr and eHarmony and Hinge. Fucking, I don't know.
We're not on True Social. We should be on
What
True
else?
Social.
Fuck it, man.
So a vast majority of our listener comments, and the only ones that I'm going to focus on, come via a TikTok video. The United Healthcare CEO who was assassinated,
Jesus.
where we were basically just kind of dumbfounded at the 50-50 aspect of friend or foe of this person's
go ahead.
assassination.
Read the comments because I want to. These people didn't listen to enough of the video, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
EA writes 50-50 question mark. This guy is crazy. Everyone loves it. CEO killed more people than serial
they
killers
didn't.
combined.
They didn't listen to it enough.
Carter Embry writes, it was never 50-50. Lori Mount writes, it appears that this is a horrible mother noose, Hannah uniting America in all backgrounds.
Yeah, that one didn't make sense.
Envy writes 97 to 3 isn't 50-50. More like 80 to 20% support. And then who said this is terrible? Sleepy replied, rich people. So it appears as though the comment section says it wasn't 50-50.
Okay,
I didn't hear the whole clip. Did we not get to the part in the clip where I was like, yeah, I think it's everybody.
I said originally like something because when the story broke, it wasn't that this was like the United Healthcare guy that was like, it was like CEO shot dead in the street at 6 a.m. And it was like, all of a sudden be like, oh, people were like, oh, that's terrible. And then they were like, United Healthcare. And then all of a sudden, like, it started to change drastically. And so when I was saying in the clip was like, I've never seen something that started out 50-50 of, man, this is bad. Oh, he was the United Healthcare guy. And then it turned. So yeah, they just didn't listen to enough of the clip. It's fine. It's TikTok. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Most of everyone's videos it has like 80% retention for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
It's true.
You can draw a lot of conclusions from 3 seconds. I'm going to tell you that right now. Well, oh, all right. We got a big bachelor party coming up this weekend. We'll try to document it as much as we can, as much as it's viably possible.
no, probably not. We should probably not document like
We should take
80% of
a
it.
few of it, a little.
Yeah,
Content,
we need to remind a certain someone that he's a community leader, and that
that's
Aw,
happening.
man,
That's-
don't steal my thunder, Wes. Because that line's gonna come up. Believe me.
I think more than one person's gonna say that line at some point through the evening.
oh yeah, I've ammoed the right individuals, you two included, on that front.
Oh god.
All right,
the
folks.
line is going to be consistently from me. Like that's not very becoming of a community leader.
There you go.
Good. All right, and we got a good bad movie review coming up. Alan, you got one in the chamber, to be determined. One's due.
Still mulling it over. Yeah.
Adam, we got a couple good ones for asking for a friend. Good holiday season coming up. So folks, I don't know, mid-December. Take her easy. See you later.